Ever walk into a place and just, like, feel kind of dot off?
Oh, tell me about it.
Like maybe it's stuffy or there's a weird smell you can't quite place.
Yeah, yeah.
Turns out that feeling, it might not just be in your head.
Nope, not at all. It's probably that indoor environmental quality, that IEQ everyone's talking about.
And to break it all down, we've got an expert, someone who really knows their stuff. We're diving deep today, and get this, we've got insights from Phil McGurk himself,
Oh, wow, from Carsey.
the one and only, the Cleaning and Restoration Science Institute.
Yeah, he's like a legend in the restoration world.
Totally. And we're going through his latest article. Seems like it's packed with all the latest trends in the industry and even some business advice for those in the field.
Yeah, it's a good one. He talks about the shift, going from just fixing problems to actually trying to prevent them in the first place.
Interesting. So less about cleaning up the mess and more about making sure the mess never happens.
Exactly. Like he's really big on preventative services, regular assessments, those kinds of things.
Makes sense. Get ahead of the curve, right?
Right. Clients are getting savvier too. They're realizing that good IEQ, it's not just about a nice smelling building. It's about health, productivity, all of that.
Yeah, it's like that whole organic food thing, but for buildings.
Exactly. And that's where the opportunity comes in. He's saying that IEPs, those indoor environmental professionals, they can really set themselves apart by becoming these trusted advisors.
So it's about more than just knowing how to, say, clean up a mold issue. It's about educating people on how to prevent it altogether.
100%. He even gives some practical tips on how to actually incorporate these preventative services into a business model.
Okay, now you've got my attention. What kind of practical tips are we talking about?
Well, he suggests things like, developing specific service packages.
Okay, like tailored to different types of buildings.
Exactly. Schools, offices, even homes. And he really stresses clear communication.
Well, yeah, communication is key in any business, but especially when you're dealing with something as potentially complex as IEQ, right?
For sure. You got to explain things in a way that everyone gets, build that trust.
Right, because otherwise it's just a bunch of jargon.
Mm.
So how does he suggest getting that message across?
Well, he's a big proponent of creating educational materials. Think brochures, blog posts, that kind of thing.
Oh, I like that. Make it accessible.
Exactly. Explain the benefits of these IAQ services, but in plain English. And he also talks about using case studies. Show people how these services have made a real difference for others.
Oh, that's smart. People love a good story. It makes it real.
Totally. And then on the tech side, he's all about streamlining things like online booking systems, even some of those remote monitoring tools.
So he's saying IEPs need to up their tech game.
Big time. It's all about staying competitive and making things easier for clients.
Which makes sense. We're all glued to our phones these days. If I can book an air quality assessment with a few taps, I'm way more likely to actually do it.
Exactly. And once you've got their attention, you need to keep it. He suggests offering valuable content, like tips on improving indoor air quality at home, maybe highlighting the latest scientific discoveries, that kind of thing.
So it's about being where the people are
Exactly.
and making it easy for them to find you, understand what you do, and see the value you bring.
You got it.
It's like he's giving us the cheat codes to success or something.
Right. But he doesn't just throw out ideas, he actually backs them up.
Okay, good. I guess I was going to say.
He talks about how all the latest tech, those fancy air monitors, they're making it so much easier to figure out what's actually in the air.
Right, like those Tedler bags and those Soma canisters. We were talking about them earlier.
Exactly. But it's not just about having the gadgets, it's about what you can do with the information. Right.
Yeah, because what's the point of data if you don't know what it means?
Exactly. He's saying, this is a total game changer for IEPs.
How so?
Well, now they can go to a client with very specific targeted solutions.
So instead of just saying, hey, you've got mold, it's more like, you've got this type of mold,
Yeah.
It's concentrated in this area, and here are your options.
Exactly. And when you've got that level of detail,
That'd build a lot of trust, right?
100%, people are more likely to hire you when you really know your stuff and you can prove it.
Absolutely. Data speaks volumes, right?
Oh, yeah. And speaking of data, he's really big on data analysis. He says it's going to be huge for the IEQ industry.
Interesting. So not just collecting the data, but actually knowing what to do with it.
That's the key. Being able to interpret it, explain it, use it to solve problems.
So you're saying IEPs of the future, they need to be data analysts too.
In a way, yeah. It's all connected. But it's not just about being a numbers whiz. He talks about using that data to tell a story.
Okay, that makes sense. Like a narrative that people can connect with.
Exactly. So you're creating these compelling reports, but they're easy to understand. You're showing the client, this is what's happening in your building, and this is how we can fix it.
So those reports almost become like a marketing tool in a way.
Totally. They can help justify the need for your services, but he also emphasizes that IEPs need to keep learning, stay updated on the latest research
Because things are always changing, right?
all the time. He even points out a few areas where he sees a lot of potential for growth, like those new sustainable cleaning products.
Oh, that's huge. Because let's be honest, a lot of those conventional cleaning products, they might kill germs, but they can really mess with your air quality.
No kidding. And then there's all the stuff with mold remediation, asbestos abatement.
Yeah, big issues, especially in older buildings. But it sounds like overall he's pretty optimistic about the future of the IEQ industry.
Oh, yeah. He definitely sees it as a growing field, for sure. Lots of opportunities out there.
This has been super interesting.
Right.
But for those of us who aren't like, IEQ pros,
Yeah.
what's the big takeaway here? What can we actually do about this stuff?
Well, one thing Phil really stresses is that we're not powerless. Even if we're not, certified professionals, there are things we can do every day to make a difference.
Like what?
Well, he gives this great example
Right.
about a school that had some, pretty bad air quality issues.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And they implemented this really simple policy where teachers had to, open the windows for a few minutes between
right.
classes.
Oh, just air things out?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Right.
It made a huge difference.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They saw, a noticeable improvement in student focus.
Wow, so simple,
Right.
but effective.
And it even led to, fewer kids getting sick.
No way.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Just goes to show you, sometimes the simplest solutions.
Are the best ones.
Totally. What else can people do?
Well, he's big on, being aware of those everyday pollutants.
Okay.
Things like, what kind of paint you're using.
Oh, right, VOCs.
Exactly. And, those harsh cleaning products.
Oh, yeah.
Switching to natural cleaners can make a big difference.
Definitely.
And then there's your HVAC system.
Right. Got to keep those filters clean.
It's amazing how many people forget about that.
Easy to overlook.
For sure.
Yeah.
But even small things like that can make a real impact.
Totally. I never thought about it like this before.
It's eye-opening.
Right. Totally. It's like we spend so much time thinking about the air outside, but the air inside, where we actually spend most of our time,
Exactly.
that's important too.
Absolutely. And I think that's why I found Phil's perspective so valuable.
Yeah, me too.
He's taking, this technical topic
Yeah.
and making it real.
Humanizing it,
Yes.
which is honestly what we try to do here on the Deep Dive.
There you go.
Take these big ideas
Yep.
and break them down in a way that's fun
For sure.
and informative
Absolutely.
so that you can actually use this information in your own life.
I love that.
And hopefully, after today's deep dive,
Yeah.
you're feeling a little more empowered
There you go.
to make your indoor environments.
It's just a little bit healthier.
Love it.
And if you want to go even deeper, definitely check out Phil's full article.
Oh, yeah. It's a good one.
We'll link to it in the show notes.
Perfect.
Thanks for diving in with us today, everyone. And remember, knowledge is power.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well,